guys, and welcome to the second tutorial of our GType. And today we are going to move on and we are going to see a lot of new things. So we are going to proceed with some macros. The next macro which I'm going to introduce you, it is quite interesting. It is GType is abstract. So that's the reason why I was showing you these abstract based classes, so that you understand exactly what abstract basic classes are. We are going to work a little bit with this macro. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to create another if statement right here, and I'm going to say if GType is abstract. I'm going to let it for a second. Then I'm going to say gprint the type is abstract. Okay, I'm not sure, but why not? Okay, whatever. So now what are those abstract types? So classes, as you can saw here, we have GTK widget, GTK container, GTK bin, GTK menu shell, and so on. Okay, so basically if we check now the GTK widget, as you can see here, it says needs a type. The first thing which you will probably do, you will do it like this: GTK widget type widget. And because the GTK type widget, it is an abstract base class, so at least the manual says so, it should print the type is abstract, which is true. You see, the type is abstract. Okay, so which means it's working. Now if we instead of type widget, we are passing the type of our button, in this case the GTK type button, and now the GTK type widget, we get nothing, we get no output, so which means that is not abstract. So basically this is what does. But again, working with type identifier, if I call it this, like GTK type widget, is not the way how you should exactly work, but it is working. You just need to ensure all the time that these types are okay, and you are not working with something unregistered and so on. So for this, we are going to make something different, and we need another function. And the next function which we are going to work with, it is called GType from name, because we need to name right here. It says look up the type ID from a given type name, returning 0. If no type has been registered under this name, then this is the preferred method to find out by name whether a specific type has existed yet. So in other words, if we call this function, let's say it returns GType. Okay, so basically this is what we are going to do: GType, and let's call it get type from name. And we're pointing right here. As you can see, it needs a string. And which kind of string do you need? Well, the name of the type. At this point, the names, we already have them here. I'm going to copy the GTK widget. Right click, copy, and I'm going to pass it here. And now, because we have it, now it should say that this type is an abstract. Okay, sorry, I forgot to pass it to our GType is abstract, and you'll see that works fine. The type is abstract. So that being said, the next one, which is the GTK container, GTK container does the same thing as well. Okay, I forgot something. I wrote it wrong, but you will see that we have a problem because container. Now it's right, I forgot an A. As you can see, it works fine, and basically this is what does this function. I'm going to close this one because we don't need it. Object itself, we don't need it as well. And I'm going to GTK button, we don't need it as well. The G object, we don't need it also. So now you saw how is derived work. Basically we call this function, instead of just passing a type name, then which we know it, we are passing a string with a name which we know that exists, and it will be checked, and only if that exists it will be returned, as a type, and once that we get its type, then we can basically print it. So in other words, you can say and GType from name. You can say also, if you want to, it's equal to GTK type container. You see, now I'm checking if GTK is abstract, and I'm also checking if the type is equal to the GTK type container. I'm going to wrap them in a parenthesis, and you'll see the type is abstract, which means works fine and it is true, and this is the way which you are working. Okay, now let us move on to the next call. The next call, it is GTK is derivative, says check if a type is derivative, so or an object oriented or hidden from another type. So this one holds true. Now true on success. So basically, if you call this one, let me make a copy of this if statement and see what happens if we call this one and we pass our get type from at this point. Okay, the gprint now is a little bit tricky, but it should print. It's working fine. And also, if we call the type from instance, which is our button in this case, then of course we need to comment this part as well. We are not working with it anymore. Then you will see that everything works fine as it should. And this is the way how these things are working. We can check basically if it's really derivative or not. And now the next thing which I'm going to introduce you, it will be if it is, of course, you can check, of course, it is if it is derivable, or yeah, why not? Let's check this one. It says check if the type is a derivable type. So a derivable type can be used as the base class for a flat. So basically, if we call this one right now and we pass it and we pass the type from instance, which we got it from our button, which is the GTK type button, you see it says it is derivable. Of course it is, because from GTK button there are other things derivable, like for example the GTK toggle button and so on. So basically this is the way how it's working, also this macro. I think I'm going to stop now and I'm going to proceed with the next video. That being said, thank you guys for watching. If you like it, please subscribe, share with your friends and neighbors, and until next time, see you guys.